Hello, I'm Jim Rohn, and if you've ever sat in a room full of silence, not the pleasant kind of a peaceful morning or a quiet evening with a cup of tea, but the cold silence like an invisible wall just fell between you and the person you love, then you've come to the right video. Because today we're going to talk about the silence of the avoidant, a silence that is not merely about not speaking, but a hidden message, a form of withdrawal, an emotional fortress they build when emotions become too close, too real. You might be wondering, why do they do that? Do they no longer care? What did I do wrong? But the interesting thing is, behind that silence, there's more than just distance. There is something they truly want you to understand, but they don't say it out loud. And if you understand it correctly, you could change the entire way you connect with them. Stonewalling, also known as emotional freezing, is not necessarily the end, but can be a hidden invitation for you to look deeper into the complex inner world of the avoidant person. Stay until the end of the video because I'll share with you how to dismantle those seemingly unreachable walls, and perhaps you'll see a door you never realized was there. If you feel this topic resonates with you, don't forget to follow the channel because we'll continue to talk more about the things the heart often feels, but the mind hasn't yet named. We often misunderstand. When someone suddenly withdraws, slams the emotional door shut, and remains silent, it's easy to assume they're trying to hurt us, that it's indifference, a form of passive punishment, but the truth is rarely that simple. If you're facing an avoidant person, try looking at things from a different angle. They're not silent because they want to hurt you. They're silent because inside them an internal alarm system is screaming, "Danger, retreat now." For them, closeness is not connection, it's risk. When emotions become too intense, they don't know how to stay grounded. They didn't learn how to stay, they only learned how to escape. Instead of reacting with blame, try asking yourself, what in their past taught them that emotions are unsafe? It's very likely they grew up in an environment where emotions were seen as weakness, where they had to suppress themselves to be accepted, to be loved. When you understand that their reaction is a self-protection mechanism, not cruelty, everything begins to change. Not so you have to endure or accept pain, but so you understand where you stand in this story. And the most important thing is, if you want to connect with an avoidant person, you can't use pressure. You have to learn how to touch their world without making them feel invaded. They have learned to adapt in their own way. Over time, they realize that standing on their own feels safer than relying on anyone else, that only the self can truly be trusted. Now, as an adult, they stand before you carrying that belief like an unbreakable wall. So when you come closer, when you gently knock on the door of their heart with sincerity, with a simple invitation to step into their world, what happens? Their whole body and mind go into disarray. In that moment of panic, they choose to shut everything tightly. And that, dear friend, is stonewalling. Not cold rejection, not hostility. It's simply fear manifesting in silence. Imagine a curious little story, a frog in a pot of water. If you drop the frog into boiling water, it will instantly leap out, its survival instincts sharp and decisive. But if you place it in cool water and slowly heat it up bit by bit, the frog won't notice the danger until it's too late. Even if science may argue with this, as a metaphor it's perfect to describe how avoidant people face closeness. They are like that frog. Put them in high-pressure situations too fast. Force them to open up, demand answers, or chase after them, they will retreat immediately. But if you bring warmth, gently, gradually, they might slowly open up. They do not hate love, nor do they reject connection. It's just that they haven't yet dared to fully trust it. So if you want to reach them, be patient. All good things take time to bloom. You cannot force someone to stay in the warmth of your embrace no matter how much you want them to. But if you are patient enough, if you skillfully create a sense of security without suffocating them, they might linger a little longer, just enough to realize that warmth does not hurt them. When forcing brings no result, when chasing only drives them further away, have you ever asked yourself, what do they really need from me in such moments? The answer is actually very simple, yet also challenging. They want you to stop chasing and trust that they'll find their way back. They don't need you to rush in to rescue them, nor do they long for lengthy persuasion or desperate pleading. What they truly crave is peace from you, a steady, unwavering presence, a place where they can feel safe without being judged. For those with secure attachment, the way they face cold distance is surprisingly different. They don't panic, they don't frantically knock on the door demanding the other person open up. Instead, they choose an action that seems simple but requires great inner strength, stepping back and patiently waiting, not in sulky silence nor with indifference, but with calm confidence. They can gently say, "I understand you need your space and I'll still be here when you want to come back." Then, they calmly continue living their life, not letting the waiting hold them back. It is this quiet yet powerful steadfastness that becomes the key to opening a door without needing to push. They don't collapse, they don't get angry, but remain standing, steady like a mountain. My friend, this is exactly what an avoidant person silently hopes you can do. If you are strong enough to stay grounded in the storm without being swept away by every gust of wind, they will begin to realize something magical. You are different. You don't need to drain their energy to prove your love, and maybe, just maybe, opening up to you is not as terrifying as they once thought. Turning an avoidant person into a secure one is not simple, and I won't deceive you into thinking it happens overnight. You cannot force someone to feel safe with just your love. They must choose it for themselves. But you can plant the seed of that safety by refusing to dive into the whirlpool of anxiety and avoidance. Instead of demanding closeness, leave them some space to breathe. When they want to withdraw, don't turn off the light of hope. Let it stay on, ready to welcome them back. Then, as time passes, if they are ready, a quiet miracle will unfold. They will gradually understand that connection is not a chain, love is not a trap, and they can leave and return, and you will still be there, unchanged, unresentful, unbroken. That is how an avoidant person begins to heal their inner wounds. That is also how they slowly choose you as their safe haven. So, my friend, if you remember only one thing from this long story, remember this. When they build a cold wall, it's not because of you. Don't blame yourself, but learn to stand firm and wait, not to pressure, but to show that you are the safe harbor where they can anchor whenever they're ready. It is a silent battle they have carried since childhood, like a deep scar etched into their soul. Don't think their distance is because of you. No, it has long become a part of their instinct. And if you truly want to love an avoidant person, to love them in the real sense, you need to learn how to stand still, without disappearing. Not to sulk, not to play a teaching game, but to quietly show them that you are unlike anyone else out there. Imagine this. Every time they retreat into their own dark corner, you don't chase after them, you don't scream, you don't try to pull them out. Instead, you stand there, like a steadfast lighthouse, shining without intrusion. You prove that you don't need to run after them to keep them, that your presence is a silent promise. I'm still here, not going anywhere. That's what surprises them, what makes them curious, and maybe, just maybe, what starts to make them believe that you are someone safe to rely on. Then one day, when the walls they built no longer have the strength to stand, when the exhaustion of running away slowly fades, they will look up. And if you're still there, without judgment, without pressure, they may take a step, a small step, out of the darkness, not because you pulled them out, but because you gave them the time and space to find the way themselves. That's how you reach the heart of an avoidant person, not with force, but with gentle patience. They won't say it, but deep inside, they know you're special, the one who stood firm when everything else wavered. And when they step into the light with you, it will be the most beautiful moment you both create together. In short, loving an avoidant person is not about chasing them or forcing them to open up, but about standing firm with patience and gentleness so they can find their way to you. It is a journey of trust, of creating a safe place for them to heal the wounds of the past. No grand words needed, no loud actions required, just your presence, like a light that never goes out in the dark night. and they will gradually realize that love can be a harbor, not a chain. It is that steadiness that will help them step into the light, not only to be closer to you, but also to find themselves again. Thank you, my wonderful audience, for taking the time to watch this video. Each of your views is a great motivation for me to continue sharing meaningful stories. I know the journey of healing and loving is not easy, and I'm deeply grateful to walk this path with you. If this video touched your heart, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss the upcoming content. I would also love to read your thoughts. Leave a comment to share your feelings, your story, or anything you wish to say. Every word you share is not only a gift to me, but also a source of inspiration for us to spread gratitude and healing together. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.